last but not least, I downloaded and played the Resident Evil Maiden demo, which came out, I guess, 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
Really liked it. I'm excited to play the whole game. It feels a lot like Resident Evil 7 because of the first-person feel, or the first-person view. But the design of the area and the demo they have you in is awesome. It's like a castle. It's a very ornate castle, and it gives you a lot of like Resident Evil 4 vibes and Resident Evil 7 vibes. And it's just like, I love that attention to detail and locate like exotic locations. That I absolutely love that. That's why I would consider myself a graphic designer, because a lot of times it's nice to be something like that, like that, and around and marvel at the graphics. I'm just like that. I'm sorry. So I liked that. I just don't know. There's no like combat in the demo, so we don't know what it's going to be. I mean, I'm feeling it's going to be a little bit more Resident Evil than Resident Evil 7 as far as combat goes, which for one, be excited to have in my hands. I don't know. I mean, what are you going to do? I'm going to play the game. I'm sure I'm going to like the game, but I'm just going to make this complaint right now. I don't know what the heck is going on with like Resident Evil. Like, I know, yeah, zombies. We're talking like weird that happens, monsters and stuff. But like, we really need vampires in Resident Evil. Like, I mean, it's just so weird. It's like they got like a family of vampires in this castle, and it's like, all right, zombies weren't enough and monsters weren't enough, and like we're getting in this vampires. How about werewolves? Like about the Mummy. So I don't know. Like it's a little ridiculous, but I'm sure I'm gonna play the game and like it.
I'm sure it'll be like some sort of like new strain of the T virus that creates like vampire zombie ladies or something.
Well, regardless of the story, it's just like, don't write the story. You guys are in charge of the story. You're writing it. You don't have to write a new monster. Like, you don't have to do vampires. Like I know zombies are done to death, but like that's what made Resident Evil popular. Go back to zombies, for God's sake.
I think that's what they're thinking is they're like, well, we've done 20 plus titles with zombies. Maybe we could spice it up a little bit.
Wait, well, maybe they can spice it up with their Monster Hunter franchise since it's doing so well. We want our Resident Evils to be Resident Evil games. You don't want it to be Vampire Hunter D.
Well, there you go. If you like Resident Evil games that are all about zombies, go play Resident Evil 6. That's a great one.
Dude, you just said something about werewolves? Was that a joke?
I guess. Are werewolves in Resident Evil?
Well, I just went to the ResidentEvil.com, like their main website, and the main image on top is a guy, and half of his face is human, and half of it looks like a wolf. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's like playing Aesop's Fables instead of Resident Evil. I don't know why they can't just have it, the way I like it. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, the original Resident Evil had lots of creatures in it that weren't zombies. It had like those green guys, whatever the hell they are. They're not zombies.
Yeah, the hunters. Yeah, exactly. But those, it wasn't back in the 40s. You weren't watching like Attack of the Green Hunters. No, you weren't. You were watching, Dracula and the Wolfman and stuff like that. So I'm saying, the green hunters are fine. The giant snakes, the giant spiders, fine. Zombies, fine. Sweaters, fine. Lock you up, right to jail.
Well, like you said, you're going to play it anyway, so I guess you'll have to make peace with it because vampires are a part of it.
I'm fine with it. I don't want it to sound I'm really upset about it. You guys know my personality. I like to, put on a big kind of disappointment because I think it's funny. I'm hearing a lot of laughter, so I'm guessing you guys are just on mute, and I'm hoping that these jokes are landing with somebody. But no, I'm excited to play the game. I think it's great. I would love to talk to somebody else who's played the demo.
Well, I mean, if you'll ask me what I played, I'll talk to you about it.
RMC, what have you?
Oh, thanks for asking,
Did you
dude.
ask Pebble Boy?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
I didn't ask you yet, Mom Brain.
Well, I didn't play anything, so we're
Okay.
good.
I did play the Resident Evil Village demo, whatever. What the hell's the name of it?
Maiden.
Maiden. I played Maiden. Whatever. It's, 20 minutes long, maybe 30 minutes if you're really squeezing it out of it.
20 minutes, yeah.
It's you walk around and can you mute do? I think it's you. So what is that noise? What is that noise? Something's gone wrong with the call. I guess I'm going to call everybody back. Sorry about that. All right, we're back. Yeah, so I played the demo. You walk around in a castle or a mansion or whatever you want to call it, and you look at things and you pick them up.
Clearly a castle. It's clearly a castle.
And I mean, there's not much to say. Like, I think it's pretty much just supposed to be like a graphical showcase. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I thought the graphics were great.
I mean, like I'm thinking the purpose of the demo is just to really show off graphics, not, like there's not much to speak of in terms of gameplay other than like Resident Evil's not a walking simulator, and I love walking simulators, but that's all you're really doing here. It's just meant to, here's what the castle is going to look like, and like the castle as far as like how it's built and like it's set up is very cool, and there's lots of atmosphere, but I really don't have much to say. I don't feel like anything really happens. Really, you just pick up a couple items and you look at them, and then it's over. That's pretty much it. What I will.
Did you look at them?
I did look at them. There are things you have to look at in order to progress. But I didn't find it to be scary. I didn't, to tell you the honest truth, I didn't think the graphics were all great. I was like, this looks like a PS4 game. Like, I don't know. I didn't see anything where I was like, wow, look at this. It was just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to play Resident Evil Village. I'm very excited about it. It's just, I don't know what the point of this demo was. I don't get the point of it. Like, it's just like I don't know, something for people with PS5 to do. I got no idea. And like I was talking about Do Michaels earlier in the week, Resident Evil Village is going to PS4 and Xbox One as well. So I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what the point of this demo is. I don't get it.
It's like Wonder Woman 1984. Like, what was the point?
It's like, I thought the point was going to be like you're going to get some of the lore and the story for the game before you play the real game, and I played it, and I mean, I don't know what you glean. You don't really
They give you some hints in there, but it's very. It's not like thought out too well. Like you read like one little note and you're like, oh, that's what's happening with these women. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not anything exciting or like, ooh, this is what's going to happen in the game with these women. Ooh, like, no, it's like, oh, I could have come up with that, and I suck at writing.
Yeah, it's just like these vampires drink blood and they're looking for a specific girl that'll work for their ritual. The end. That's it. Like that's all there is to it. I feel like it's a nothing. Like, if I'm supposed to look at it for graphics, it didn't wow me with graphics. I'm not getting what Resident Evil is going to be like gameplay wise. Like, it's just walking around and no attacks. And I need to stress, I don't have any problem with games that are like that at all, but this is some sort of showcase for Resident Evil Village in some way. And I don't know. It doesn't make me more excited for the game. I was excited for the game to begin. Like, I feel like you could play this and get nothing out of it, and you could not play it and get the same thing out of it. Like, I don't feel like it's an experience where you need to play it. I don't know.
Well, I played it with headphones on. I was alone. I was spooked. I wouldn't say it was the scariest thing, but I was definitely spooked. So you saying that you're not spooked, I would say that you weren't giving it your full attention.
No, I'm not scared.
No, Raw Meat is very practical with life and everything. And if there's something there, his whole take on it is like, well, that just doesn't exist in real life, and this is just a game, and I'm not afraid.
I mean, like the only game that's ever scared me is PT, and PT scared me a lot. But yeah, but I specifically sat down to play the demo before the podcast because I knew you wanted to talk about it, so I wanted to see what it was about. That's very funny, Kyle. Kyle says, "Is it more or less scary than Grabbed by the Ghoulies?" What it feels like to me, here's the best way I can put it: PT, which is also a demo, was very scary. And Resident Evil Maiden is like, this is supposed to be scary. Like you're walking through the castle and the lady is like, I'm watching you. And you know, you walk somewhere else and she's like, like laughing at you. I'm like, all right. I don't give a crap. Like I'm not scared.
So Rob, is this something that you can play on VR?
No, not to my knowledge. I'm sure VR would certainly enhance the experience without a doubt because Resident Evil 7, I wouldn't say it was a scary game, but playing it in VR certainly makes it a more heightened experience because you have to be the one to physically like look around corners and like sneak around and you feel like you're in it.
I can't believe that didn't scare you. I can't believe that scares Resident Evil 7. Oh my God.
I had somebody run at him in a gorilla suit, and his reaction was, "Well, gorillas don't exist in this environment." I'm fine.
I mean, I
was terrified.
I played Resident Evil 7 start to finish in VR, and I think that's the way to play it. But I don't like same thing with movies. I don't really get scared at movie. Like the only thing I really got scared at was PT. PT was a frightening experience.
What about My Doctor's a Stalker? That's pretty scary.
What'd you say, Vitamin G?
What about My Doctor is a Stalker? That's pretty scary.
Well, that's just that's where the high bar is set. That whole series is the scariest thing I've ever seen. Just being stalked by Julia Roberts' brother is the most frightening image I can think of.
Those choppers.
Terrified the whole time that his dentures are going to fall out.
Just like limping and like
Singing.
drooling after you.
Talking about bathtubs.
Hey, Rami.
Yes. Yes, Nikki Hill.
No.
Okay. All right. That scares me. That's tied to childhood trauma. That is true.
So, I mean, PT was definitely scarier. That was probably the scariest thing.
Yes.
But what PT had that this did not have was PT felt like it was going to be different every time you played it. It felt like there wasn't a set thing for the monster or the lady to do.
Yeah.
And like you had no idea going into it when or where it was going to pop out. And this Evil demo felt so scripted, like so annoyingly scripted, like holding your hand.
Yeah.
Virtually.
You know, that pisses me off a lot. Yeah, the first thing you do in this demo is pick up a sheet of paper that tells you everything to do part for part. It tells you exactly what to do. It tells you where to go. It tells you what to look at.
I thought that was going to be like a trick, you know, like like this, you know, the ladies just screw with the prisoners or something. But it didn't. It turned out to be that. It turned out to be just stupid. As you just said, It's like literally like here's a note in the wall, and all you got to do is crawl out through this hole. Like, and it's like, I didn't need a note for that. Probably.
Yeah, it's a 20-minute demo. You can't let me fumble around through it a little bit. No, you get a whole guide step by step of what to do.
Or just have the note be like of the previous prisoner's time in prison. You know, like why? Like we need a little more atmosphere. We don't need, you know, literally hand holding through the experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the one thing you're never going to get until we do finally go next generation. And we're never going next generation. We're never going to get a game that can be that rare as PT felt. We'll never know what PT was going to be. We'll never know if it could have been exactly like that when it came out. Probably not. But like, you know, there were the days back in the Resident Evil Director's Cut days on like original PlayStation where like you could do a random monster mode and like you could literally walk into the first room, the dining room, and see a tyrant there. Now it you know, that's not fun and that's not exactly what I'm talking about, but I wish there was something they could do with games moving forward that would make them a little bit more, the word spontaneous, because a lot of these things are just, you're almost on rails. Like even Resident Evil 7, as great as that experience was, that's a very like linear progression, and and that's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I
I don't
don't.
know.
Yeah, for the horror genre to go forward, it needs to go in the way that PT did. It's got nothing to do with hardware power or anything like that. It's got everything to do with developer imagination limitations. Like PT was, without a doubt, the way to go, to add in that variety, to add in a new approach, to add in all that atmospheric stuff, and just so much was packed into that demo, and it was leagues beyond any other horror game out there. That's the direction we need to go. So I don't know what's going to happen, but with this demo, like I said, whatever, the demo felt like a fart to me, but I'm not excited for the game. I'm still going to play Village. I'm very interested in it. I had a lot of fun with Resident Evil 7, and I'm sure 8 or Village, whatever you want to call it, will be the same. Just that's where I'm at with it. So
You don't like farts?
I do love farts, but when they're my own, I don't like smelling somebody else's fart for 20 minutes.
Everyone loves their own fat.
Also, how do you feel a fart?
You clearly haven't been close enough to one, Kirby. When we're out of quarantine, I'll make sure you get that feel.
Oh no.
So,
All right, let's
last
move on.
question then. What
Yes.
do you think of the ladies, the vampire ladies?
What do I think about them? What?
Vampire schmampire, am I right?
I guess in the terms of
classics.
what I was, because I talked about them for 20 minutes, so maybe you could talk about them for 30 seconds.
They're vampires. So what do you mean? That's it. They're vampire ladies.
Notice me, senpai.
Okay,
Notice
fine.
me.
You win.
I don't
All right,
know.
next topic.
What do you?
You
What do
just don't want to say that it's bad, because you don't want anyone to think you're bad.
do Michaels? I
ladies
swear
or
on
vampires.
Buddy the Podcast Dog's non-life that I have no feelings about the vampire ladies. They're just vampire ladies. That's it. I'm not mad at them. I'm not happy about them. That's it. It's fine.
And you've played other Resident Evil games, and you know what they're supposed to be like, right?
I know what you think they're supposed to be like, yes, but I think you and I
Okay.
differ on that.
Well, we'll see. After we play the full game, will you give me a definitive yay or nay on the vampire ladies? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I need to know the full story of them and what's behind them. But yeah,
Kevin likes to know someone's personality before he really
I will
judges.
gladly revisit this conversation. Yes, because like I said,
One-
I'm still excited for the game.
One thing I didn't realize was how big that one lady was.
Oh,
And,
she's huge. Yeah.
that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool because I've seen trailers and stuff, and for whatever reason, I didn't know she was supposed to be like a giant.
That's
And,
been like the big talk of the internet for the last few weeks. Everybody's going crazy about how tall that one vampire lady is.
yeah, it was cool. It took me by surprise. It was very Madame Maxime.
She's like, what? Got to be like 8 or 9 feet tall, right?
Yeah,
She's as
she
tall as
definitely
that
has to-
doorway at the end. She's huge.
Taller than the Great Kali.
She's got to dwarf the Great Kali by at least a foot, I think. Yeah, could you imagine the Great Kali walking at you? Oh my God, that'd be well. It'd take forever to get to you, so we'd probably be okay. Thanks so much for checking out this highlight to the Go Nintendo podcast. If you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, you can check out the description below and subscribe to this channel for more podcast highlights.